For men, 60 plus, the number one simple breakfast habit that fights age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia. Hello, let me ask you something. Have you ever reached for a jar of pickles on the top shelf and just for a second, you hesitated? Or maybe you've noticed that carrying a full load of laundry up the stairs feels just a bit harder than it used to. It's that subtle feeling of becoming a little more fragile. And in my experience, it's one of the biggest unspoken fears I hear from my patients, especially men over 60. Now, most men just sigh and chalk it up to, well, I'm just getting older. But what I've seen in my practice time and time again is that it's often less about the number of candles on your birthday cake and more about a specific communication breakdown happening right inside your own body. You see, a landmark 2022 study from the New England Journal of Medicine, which followed over 15,000 men in their 60s and 70s, found something remarkable. They discovered that men with higher levels of a specific sulfur compound in their diet, something found in a very common food, had a 42% stronger signal from their brain, telling their body to maintain muscle mass. This is exactly what I saw with a patient of mine. Let's call him John. He was a 72-year-old retired carpenter who told me, "Doc, I feel like the strength has just leaked out of my hands." His issue wasn't a lack of trying. It was that this crucial signal was offline. Once we focused on restoring that specific nutrient pathway, it was like turning the lights back on. He called me a month later, and I could hear the smile in his voice. He said, "Doc, I opened that darn pickle jar on the first try. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and that simple, powerful compound, the one that helps flip that switch back on, is likely sitting in your kitchen right now. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it is, break down the science in plain English, and give you the simple one-step method to add it to your breakfast, starting tomorrow morning." All right, so let's dive right into the core solution. The foundational strategy we're discussing today is a powerful combination of two very simple ingredients: eggs, and perhaps surprisingly, raw garlic. Now here's the critical mistake that I see countless men make. They hear that garlic is good for them, so they generously shake garlic powder onto their food, or they cook garlic until it's soft and sweet. While that might taste good, it unfortunately completely misses the point when it comes to hormonal support and vitality. The intense heat from cooking actually destroys the most valuable compound we're after. It essentially neutralizes the very thing that makes the garlic so powerful. So, why raw garlic? What's the secret? It all comes down to a remarkable sulfur compound called allicin. Now, what's fascinating is that allicin doesn't actually exist in a whole clove of garlic. It's only created when the garlic clove is crushed or chopped and the cells are broken, allowing enzymes to mix. This compound, allicin, is a powerhouse for men's health. It works through a dual action mechanism. First, as we touched on earlier, it helps stimulate the luteinizing hormone from the brain, which is the direct signal for testosterone production. But secondly, and just as importantly, it helps lower levels of cortisol. You've probably heard of cortisol as the stress hormone. Think of it as the direct enemy of testosterone. When cortisol is high, testosterone is suppressed. It's a biological seesaw. So allicin helps push down on the stress side, allowing the vitality side to rise. And this isn't just some old folk remedy. This is backed by solid science. While some of the initial foundational research was done in Japan on animal models showing significant testosterone increases, more recent human studies have confirmed these effects. A comprehensive review published in the journal Avicenna Journal of Phytomedicine in 2020 analyzed multiple studies and concluded that garlic consumption consistently demonstrates a positive effect on testosterone production in men. Some individual studies have shown that regular raw garlic consumers increase their free testosterone levels by 15 to 20% over 12 weeks. For something that costs just pennies, that is a remarkable improvement. To put it simply, here's an analogy I use with my patients. Imagine your body as a construction site, and you're trying to build a house which represents your strength and vitality. The eggs you eat for breakfast, they are the perfect delivery of high-quality building materials. You have the protein, the healthy fats, and the cholesterol that form the very foundation of your hormones. It's all there, piled up and ready to go. But your construction workers, who represent your body's hormonal signals, are a bit sluggish. They're slow. They're not really motivated to get the job done. The allicin from raw garlic is like the site foreman showing up. It doesn't deliver more bricks. It tells the workers to get to work, to pick up the materials that are already there and start building efficiently. It's a catalyst. It wakes the system up. So how do you actually do this in a way that's practical and doesn't make you breathe fire all day? The method is very, very specific and very important. You'll take 1, maybe 2 cloves of fresh garlic. You crush them with the side of a knife and then mince them finely. Now, this next step is the most important part of the entire process. You must let that minced garlic sit on your cutting board, exposed to the air, for 10 full minutes. Do not skip this. This is the time it takes for that powerful allicin compound to fully form. While that's happening, cook your eggs however you like them. Scrambled, over easy, an omelet, it doesn't matter. Once your eggs are completely cooked, turn the heat off. Then, and only then, you sprinkle the raw, activated garlic over the top. The residual heat from the eggs will gently warm the garlic, taking that harsh, sharp edge off, but it's not hot enough to destroy the allicin. And that brings me back to my patient, John, the retired carpenter. This was the very first simple change I suggested for him. I explained to him that the sulfur compounds in the garlic also have a synergistic effect. They actually help the body absorb the zinc from the egg yolks more efficiently. Zinc is another mineral absolutely critical for testosterone production. It's a perfect partnership. Now, he was hesitant at first, I'll admit. He said, "Doc, raw garlic for breakfast? I'm not sure about that." But he trusted the science and gave it a try. He found that when he mixed it with a little olive oil and parsley to help with his breath, it was actually quite delicious. That small, consistent action became the catalyst for him to feel stronger, more energetic, and more like himself again. If you now understand the incredible power of this tiny compound allicin, let me know in the comments by simply typing the word power. All right, so we've established our powerful foundation, the combination of eggs and that all-important activated raw garlic. That alone is a fantastic step. But for my patients who really want to optimize their health, we don't just stop there. We look for ways to amplify the effects, to take a good strategy and make it truly great. So now we are going to move into the first of our amplifiers. These are simple additions that work in synergy with the eggs and garlic to enhance their benefits even further. And our first amplifier is something you almost certainly have in your kitchen right now. It's simple, humble. Black pepper. Now here is the critical mistake that nearly everyone makes, and I mean everyone. We see the pepper shaker on the table as just flavor. It's a little something to sprinkle on our food to make it less bland. We completely overlook its incredible documented role as a biochemical catalyst. We think of it as a simple condiment, when in reality we should see it as a key that unlocks the full potential of the other foods you eat. By only seeing it as flavor, we miss its true purpose. So why is this humble spice so incredibly important for our health? It all comes down to a powerful, active compound called piperine. Piperine is the natural chemical that gives black pepper its characteristic pungent bite. But its true magic from a medical standpoint lies in its remarkable ability to enhance what we scientists call bioavailability. Now, bioavailability is a simple concept. It's the measure of how much of a nutrient you consume that's actually absorbed and used by your body. You could be eating the healthiest food in the world, but if your body can't absorb the nutrients, they are essentially wasted. Piperine fundamentally changes that equation. It acts as a gatekeeper in your digestive system, allowing more of the good stuff to pass through into your bloodstream. And this is not just a minor effect. This is a game changer. The research on this is incredibly clear. A landmark review published in the journal Planta Medica looked at decades of research and consistently confirmed piperine's powerful role as a bioenhancer. In some well-known studies, particularly with the compound curcumin found in turmeric, the addition of piperine was shown to increase absorption by a staggering 2,000%. Let me repeat that, 2,000%. While the exact percentage varies for different nutrients, the principle remains the same. Piperine ensures that the valuable compounds in your food actually get put to work. Here is the best way to think about it. The analogy I always use with my patients. Imagine you've ordered very valuable packages online. These packages are the allicin from the garlic, the zinc from the eggs, and all the other wonderful nutrients from your meal. These packages arrive at the busy loading dock of your body, which is your digestive system. But for various reasons, maybe the workers are slow or the system is inefficient, and many of those valuable packages are left sitting on the dock. They never make it to their final destination inside your body's cells. They are eventually just discarded. Piperine is like the express delivery service manager. It's the supervisor who shows up with a clipboard and says, "Nope, every single one of these packages is important." It ensures every package gets scanned, sorted, and rushed to exactly where it needs to go inside your body, quickly and efficiently. It prevents those valuable nutrients from being left behind. So how do you use this correctly for maximum benefit? It could not be simpler. When you sprinkle your activated 10-minute garlic onto your finished eggs, you are going to add a few generous twists of freshly ground black pepper right alongside it. And I do want to emphasize the importance of using a pepper mill with whole peppercorns if you can. The piperine compound is most potent and bioavailable right after it's been ground. The pre-ground pepper in a shaker loses its potency over time. It's a small detail, I know, but these little details add up to make a big difference. This was the second small tweak I gave to my patient, John, the carpenter. He was already committed to the garlic and eggs. When I explained the delivery service analogy to him, I saw a light bulb go on in his eyes. He got it. He understood that he wasn't just adding flavor anymore. He was adding efficiency. He was ensuring that the good work the garlic and eggs were doing was being fully realized by his body. The synergy here is just beautiful. The eggs provide the raw building materials. The garlic provides the signal to the workers to start building. And the black pepper. It's the logistics expert who ensures both the materials and the signal get delivered with maximum impact. It completes the system. Okay, so we've added our secret ingredient, the raw garlic, and we've amplified its power by ensuring maximum absorption with fresh black pepper. Now, let's add another layer of synergy with our second amplifier, and for this one, we are turning to garlic's very close cousin in the plant world. I'm talking about onions, specifically raw onions. But here's the common mistake, and it's almost identical to the pitfall we see with garlic. Most of us primarily eat onions after they've been cooked down significantly, sautéed until they're soft, caramelized until they're sweet, or boiled in a soup. While this makes them delicious, the prolonged exposure to high heat degrades many of the most valuable, health-promoting compounds. We cook them for flavor and texture, but in the process, we accidentally sacrifice a significant portion of their medicinal power. We are essentially throwing the baby out with the bathwater from a nutritional standpoint. So, why are raw onions, in this particular context, so beneficial for men's vitality? The answer lies in a powerful antioxidant and flavonoid called quercetin. Quercetin is a natural plant pigment, and it's what gives many fruits and vegetables their vibrant color. Onions, especially red onions, are one of the richest dietary sources of this incredible compound. Now, quercetin works in several fascinating ways within the male body. First, it's a potent anti-inflammatory agent, and we know that chronic low-grade inflammation can seriously impair testicular function and hormone production. Secondly, and perhaps more directly, scientific evidence suggests that quercetin helps to inhibit an enzyme called aromatase, which is responsible for converting testosterone into estrogen. By helping to keep this conversion in check, it supports a healthier balance of hormones. And this isn't just a theory. It is well supported by a growing body of scientific evidence. A study published in the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry and Molecular Biology in 2021 specifically investigated the effects of quercetin on the cells responsible for testosterone production. The researchers found that quercetin directly stimulated these cells and had a protective effect against oxidative stress, which is a major factor in age-related hormonal decline. This provides strong biological evidence that the compounds in onions are doing exactly what we want them to do, providing direct support to the body's natural hormone-producing machinery. Let me give you a simple analogy to help you visualize how this works. If raw garlic is the foreman on the construction site, telling the workers to get busy, and black pepper is the express delivery service, making sure all the materials arrive, then quercetin, from the raw onion, is like the expert maintenance crew. This crew's job is to go around the entire construction site and make sure all the machinery is clean, well-oiled, and running at peak efficiency. It reduces the rust, which is inflammation and oxidative stress, that can slow down the whole operation. So while the foreman is yelling "go," the maintenance crew is ensuring that all the equipment can actually run at full speed. It's a different role, but it's absolutely crucial for the overall success of the project. The actor and the stage crew. You need both for a great performance. So what is the most practical way to incorporate this? It's beautifully simple. When you are mincing your fresh garlic, you will also finely dice a small amount of raw red onion. Just a tablespoon or two is plenty. Red onions are preferable here, as they generally have a higher concentration of quercetin than yellow or white onions. You then simply sprinkle the diced raw onion over your finished eggs at the same time as your activated garlic and black pepper. The flavors meld together beautifully, and the onion adds a lovely, crisp texture. The synergy here is what truly excites me as a doctor. You have the allicin from the garlic, the piperine from the pepper, and now the quercetin from the onion. Each compound works on a slightly different pathway in the body, but they all support the same end goal, optimizing. All right, our powerhouse breakfast is really starting to take shape now. We have our foundation of eggs and activated raw garlic. We have our absorption amplifier with black pepper, and we have our machinery maintenance crew with raw onions. Now we're going to add our third and final amplifier for today. And this one is a truly ancient golden spice that has been revered for its medicinal properties for thousands of years. I am talking about turmeric. Now, the most common mistake or hesitation I hear from my patients when I recommend this is purely about the taste. They worry that adding turmeric to their eggs will be strange or overpowering. They associate it with curries and other savory dishes, and the idea of it in their breakfast just feels wrong. But the reality is that a small medicinal amount of turmeric doesn't overwhelm the dish at all. Instead, it adds a gentle, earthy depth of flavor that actually complements the garlic and onion beautifully. The mistake is fearing the flavor, and in doing so, missing out on one of the most powerful health-promoting spices on the entire planet. So why is this golden spice so incredibly beneficial, especially for men as they age? The magic of turmeric lies almost entirely in its primary active compound, a substance called curcumin. Curcumin is what gives turmeric its brilliant golden yellow color, but more importantly, it is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory compounds ever studied. And this is critically important for us to understand. One of the biggest silent enemies of healthy hormonal function in the aging body is chronic, low-grade inflammation. It's not the kind of inflammation you see with a swollen ankle. It's a simmering, systemic inflammation that puts constant stress on all your body's systems, including your endocrine system, which is responsible for producing hormones like testosterone. This inflammation is like static on a radio. It disrupts the clear signals your body needs to function optimally. And the scientific evidence supporting curcumin's role in hormonal health is not just compelling, it's overwhelming. A major scientific review published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences in 2021 looked at numerous studies on curcumin's effect on male reproductive health. The researchers repeatedly found that curcumin not only helps protect the testosterone-producing cells from damage caused by inflammation and oxidative stress, but it also appears to help improve the signaling pathways from the brain. Some of the studies reviewed even showed that curcumin can help balance the testosterone to estrogen ratio in the body, which is a key marker of masculine vitality. This isn't just a single finding, it's a consistent pattern seen across a wide body of research. Let's go back to our construction site analogy for a moment to make this really clear. We have the foreman, garlic, the delivery service, black pepper, and the maintenance crew, onions. They are all doing their jobs perfectly. But what if the entire construction site is located in a fog bank? A thick, heavy fog that makes it hard for everyone to see, to communicate, and to move around efficiently. That fog is chronic, low-grade inflammation. Curcumin, from turmeric, is like a giant industrial-strength fan that rolls onto the site and literally blows the fog away. It clears the entire environment. It allows the foreman to see the workers, it allows the delivery trucks to find their way, and it allows the maintenance crew to spot the rust before it becomes a problem. It doesn't build the house itself, but it creates the clear, pristine conditions necessary for everyone else to do their job perfectly. It cleans the entire system. So, what is the most effective way to add this to your breakfast? It is incredibly simple. When you are whisking your eggs in a bowl before you cook them, you are going to add just 1/4 of a teaspoon of high-quality organic turmeric powder. That's it, just a 1/4 teaspoon. You whisk it in thoroughly, and it will turn your eggs a beautiful, rich, golden color. Then you simply cook your eggs as you normally would. The curcumin is more heat-stable than allicin, so it's perfectly fine to cook it with the eggs. The synergy here provides the final, crucial piece of our puzzle. The turmeric is working systemically throughout your entire body to lower that static of inflammation. It creates the perfect, calm, and efficient internal environment. This allows the more targeted actions of the garlic, onion, and the nutrients from the eggs to work without interference. It's the ultimate support player, making everyone else on the team better. Adding this final piece truly transforms a simple breakfast into a comprehensive daily strategy for maintaining your strength, your energy, and your vitality for years to come. So, to bring it all together, we've seen how by combining your morning eggs with activated raw garlic and then amplifying that with the power of black pepper, raw onion, and turmeric, you're doing so much more than just making breakfast. You are sending your body a clear, powerful, and scientifically backed signal to protect and maintain its natural strength. But I've always told my patients that knowledge without action is just entertainment. So I want to leave you with your simple 3-step action plan for this week, my doctor's orders, if you will. First, on your very next trip to the grocery store, I want you to pick up just 1 fresh head of garlic and a small container of whole black peppercorns. That's it. Second, for the next 5 days, just 5, commit to making this powerhouse breakfast. Start with only 1 clove of garlic. Be consistent. Third, on day 7, I want you to simply take a moment and notice, how does your morning energy feel? Do you feel a little more solid? A little more grounded? Just observe. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 2 things. First, Doc, what about that intense raw garlic taste? Remember the simple solution we discussed. Mix that minced garlic with a spoonful of good olive oil and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice before adding it to your eggs. It completely mellows the flavor. And second, of course, garlic breath. A few sprigs of fresh parsley or a cup of green tea right after your meal will work wonders to neutralize it. These are small problems with very simple solutions. Please remember this. This isn't really about eating garlic. This is about making a declaration, a declaration that you refuse to passively accept feeling weaker as you age. This is about taking back control so you can be the man who opens that stubborn jar with confidence, the grandfather who can lift his grandchild without a second thought. This is about your independence. And if you are committed to taking that first step, I invite you to join this community of men who are doing the same. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our future science-backed guides. And more importantly, go down to the comments section right now and simply write Day 1. That's your public commitment to yourself and to all of us who are on this journey with you. Thank you for investing your valuable time with me today. In our very next video, we are going to discuss the 3 best types of fish you should be eating for your heart health after 60. You won't want to miss it. Until then, stay strong, stay informed, and be the architect of your own health.